Welcome back to the garage here at Basin Motorsports. So recently I was at an event and I went to roll up my windows and that dreaded Gollum sound showed up where the regulator went kind of like this. You hear that crunchiness? That's bad. So today I'm going to show you how to take off your door panel and go ahead and replace the window motor and regulator in one shot. All right, to start this process, I'm going to go ahead and leave the window down because it's going to make it easier for the door panel to come back off. Since I have tinted windows, I want to make sure I don't hit my door panel against the tint and scratch it. First thing we need to do is take off our bezel around our lock and our handle. So you can notice up in the top here, there's a couple slots here. You can use that to pry. This handle, this bezel is going to pop up and away, and it also come out on the back here. So you can just gently pop around the edges. You use that to pop up and away on these slots in the handle, and then this bezel is going to come off. So here's a look at your bezel on the back side. You can see there are clips all the way around, so you can just make sure there are 5 spots, right? 2 in the top, 2 above the lock here, and 1 in the front. And that's how they are all the way around. So you can just gently pry out there, and this bezel comes off. Now once you have that off, you can see that there is an attachment screw right there, so it requires a Phillips head, so we're going to take that out. Now inside of that little pocket there, once it comes off, they're going to have 2 of these screws. These take a T30 hex head. You can see kind of a hex there. And they just unscrew, so you just use a ratchet with probably something like a 6-inch extension, make it a lot easier. Now the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and take out my switch finisher. These just pop in. If I kind of show you, flip it over here, there are going to be 1 clip right here. There's a clip. And then that just kind of snaps in your door panel, that little hook there. So you're going to come down here and just use kind of a tab, maybe a thin screwdriver, real gently. You're going to pull up on this back edge, and then that's going to allow it to lift. It's going to allow it to lift up and then pull out from this front edge. And then you can just go ahead and unplug your plug here or your connection, and then that takes that out of the way. All right, so from this point on, you need to take your door panel off. Now there are 2 clips on the front edge. They're going to be 1 up here, 1 here, and then there are 3 clips along the bottom. And they are very tight clips, so just be careful. You're going to pry them loose. There's 1 here, 1 about the middle, and 1 at the back. The back edge over here, this does not have any clips here. And then once these clips take loose or they pop loose, you can then kind of rotate it, rotate the bottom out and then lift up because it's going to be connected at the top. There may be your foam barrier between, it might be stuck to your door panel. It's a dark gray. That just needs to come off with it. So just take your time, pop it loose very gently, and then lift the door panel away, and then we'll get to the next piece. Okay, so the next piece we need to do is we need to gain access to our fasteners for our window and our motor and regulator. So at the front, you can kind of see there, I already have the speaker pulled out, but you can see the clips there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That speaker module needs to come out. I have aftermarket kicker speakers in my car already done that have some adapters. So those will go in, but take those screws out, pull that speaker module out, whether it's factory or aftermarket, and then you're going to have access to your window that goes to your regulator right in there. Kind of show you, there's the bolt there that holds the glass to the regulator. I'll need access to that. And then on the back, I need to take off this sound deadener panel right here. This one here, it's held on by butyl, so you can just pick the corner right there, just start pulling it away. It should release, and you're going to take this panel off, and that's going to give us the rear access to the glass and to our regulator. Now that I have the butyl cover off, I want to go ahead and raise the window up about halfway, make it easier so I can get the bolts in about halfway in my windows there. So you're going to go ahead and take your power window switch, connect it back up to your connector here. You're going to raise your window up. You can leave the connector on if you want to. It doesn't really matter. And then you can just take that glass out. Now just remember, it's going to be, this is what holds the glass in, and it also supports it. So once you take these fasteners out, the glass will be loose, and then you're going to kind of pull it up out of this top edge here. Just take it up and then go set it like on a bench. Make it sure it's nice and safe till you want to get it and bring it back. Okay, now with our window lifted out of the channel, you can see I still leave the brackets. You can take that bolt all the way out if you want to. Doesn't matter. It just needs to loosen up. There's a bracket that kind of squeezes the glass on both sides, and it's going to keep the rubber pieces there. So take the bolt out if you want. You may take the metal bracket out on the other side. Otherwise, just loosen it up enough that it releases the glass. Now from here, we need to take out our motor and our regulators. So the regulator at the top, there's a fastener here for that top channel. There's one at the bottom there. You can see where that comes down and bolts in. On the top over here, there's another one. And then on the bottom down there, it just lifts out. Now our motor is in the center here, right where this piece is here. There are 3 bolts there. That's what holds our motor on the back side of that panel. So you can take that out first if you want to, or you can take out your regulator pieces, but take all those fasteners out, and then you're going to slide that stuff gently. It's going to come out this big opening here, and then that is out. And then to reinstall, we're essentially going to do everything in reverse. So everything will go back in, the glass will come in, and then we'll clamp it together. And I'm not going to adjust it. You see there's some tensioners here. Leave that alone for now. We probably don't need to touch it because everything's already set. We just need to change our regulator to match. All right, so just a couple notes here. This fastener that comes down to the bottom right here where my fingers are, this comes in from the bottom. There is a rubber gasket that snaps into the body itself. So you'll want to take that rubber plug, I guess you want to call it, out. You can see where the bolt was right here, and it's accessed from the bottom to get that fastener out. Also, there is a kind of a clip right here, a plastic clip that binds around the 2 regulator wires or the cables. You'll probably want to take this out so you can just pinch it together, pinch the arrow clip here. It'll come out with the regulator, and then you can pry it loose and actually take it loose and put it back on the new unit over on the bench. Now, before I go install anything, I always like to double check that everything is exactly as I took out, meaning the new matches the old. So a couple things I've already noticed. These fasteners here are actually tight, so I'll need to adjust those so that the glass and everything will work, and then slide down in the channel on both those sides. This here is adjustable, it's loose. And so I need to make sure this length here from the body out to this, or the body to the mounting point here, is the same as on the old one. So I'll just go ahead and use a ruler or some calipers, make sure this distance is correct, to make sure, because what this does, it'll affect how your window sits, either sits in or out against the sill. So you can go ahead and adjust that, make sure the heights are the same before you install it, and look at anything else on there. Like I said, these are adjustable. They are not adjusted on the new one. So you may want to change this to match the old one. This matches the up and down of the window based on when it's closed. You might want to adjust that on the new one here. Twist this here as much as you need to get it to adjust to the factory setting. Now, with your regulator and motor reinstalled, all the fasteners snugged down, go ahead and loosen up your channels or your bolts here that are going to grip the glass. Everything should be adjusted because you already changed everything or verified the new parts are going to match the old ones, connected up the motor, and then take your switch, plug it in, and run it up and down 5 or 6 times. Make sure that it's now going to work as you intend when the glass goes on and everything else, that the motor does go up and down, and everything should work. I've already done that. Looks good. So now I'm going to go grab the glass, and I'm going to go ahead and slide it back in and install it back in and snug it down. The new regulators come with new rubber pads, so you can go ahead and take those off. Your old one, or if they're stuck to the glass, go ahead and pull them off, and then you can go ahead and slide your glass down in the channel in between our rubber pieces here, slide it in, and then you can snug down these bolts. They should be about a 12 millimeter bolt. At least these are here. I think they're a 13 factory, and there are 12 on these aftermarket ones. And snug that down, and then your glass should be installed. Once you're done there, go ahead and raise the glass all the way up. Shut your door, because now everything should be installed other than your speakers over here. You can go ahead and put those back in, because now everything's going to be installed. And then shut the door, make sure it all seals like you want to, and everything is in good shape. Now that everything's installed, lifting up the glass completely, I can tell you I need to make some adjustments. So I can show you right here on the front, you can see where this tint stopped. So clearly this line is now above this seal where it was. So I need to make some adjustments here. So this glass needs to go further down in the channel on the inside. I can also show you that this right here, this glass, is not touching this seal. So I need to make some adjustments inside to tip the glass further out all along the way. And if I shut the door, I can show you, you can see this glass used to be right there on that edge. When it comes in, it's actually further back. So you're sitting back another 2 millimeters or so, which means it's going to shut a little bit different. These seals have now kind of worn themselves into the glass. So I need to make some adjustments to move this glass in the channel. So it needs to slide forward just a little bit and slide down at the tip. But you can see otherwise. You can just look around and see, how does it fit your seal? Does it fit like it used to? Well, if it doesn't, now it's time to make some adjustments. It does go under this, which is help hold the glass in, so that's a good thing. But I need to move this glass in the channel. Now, once you have your window adjusted accordingly, whether it's up, down, front, left, everything else, remember everything I just showed you, all of the adjustments in there, that is what controls the pitch of the window against the body. So it's the in-out at the top. Also, you can move the window side to side as you need to. Once you have everything adjusted, you should be able to slam the door and get that thump that all Corvettes make. And then the seal should be kind of pillowing out, or the window should kind of bite into the seal all the way around. So here we go. Let's thump her again. Give it the old whoomp, and I'll show you the seal. Okay, so that's good. My window goes under this. That's good. And you can see that the seal is kind of puffy up around your window. You want the window to kind of bite into your seal. And since this is a 20-year-old seal, I believe it's pretty good. But then if I come back here, I'm back to where my old line used to be. It's not beyond this anymore. You can feel the window is biting into the seal itself. All the way around. You can run your finger down and make sure there's no gaps. Remember, a gap is going to be a wind leak at speed. It's going to whistle. Here you're going to hear a little shh. So make sure you run all the way around. Your seal should be biting around the window, or the window should be kind of pressing into the seal. You can also use your fingers to kind of push on it a little bit. You should see your seal move. So if I show you down here and hold it steady, if I can, you push your window in, you should see your seal flex a little bit because your window is touching and pushing into it. And it's up under my holder there. Now from this point on, once your window is in, you can then start putting everything back together. I always go step by step, double check every fastener, check your motor, check your regulator bolts, that they're all tight. Then you can put in your speaker or your speaker pod, check that it's tight, and just go piece by piece checking all the fasteners. You don't want to have to take this back apart. And once you're done, everything is complete in there. You make sure you put on your sound pieces here, or your water leak here, put your seal on there. Then you're going to lower your window all the way down so you can install your window right above the channel here on the waistline. And then you're going to snap in your clips along the bottom. And then you're almost done. You can put your window finisher with your switches on, put your bezel on, and then the door is ready to go. All right, so there's going to be your finished product. Once you have everything put back together, all your bezels snapped in and all your clips back in and everything else, you can always double check. You can slam the door, make sure it shuts correctly, and your seal still works. You should see that your seals on the inside, your waist molding seal along the window there, should touch the glass. And also on the outside, it should touch the glass too. That just helps for wind leak and water leak. Make sure it all seals up correctly. Now, if you find you wash it later on, you get some wind noise later on driving, or you get some water later on when you're washing it, you can always adjust your window. Just take your door panel off, adjust the screws that I showed you, the in, out, up, and down, and get everything to fit. So that's it. Pretty simple, basic hand tools, couple screwdrivers, torque bit, a T30 for your ratchet, and then some sockets. I will go ahead and put the tools and the part that I bought from Dorman. I got it through Rock Auto for like 60 bucks shipped, somewhere in that range. Not too bad for a brand new part that hopefully will last another 20 years. This is going to be the same for driver or passenger door. It's going to be the same process, same tools, everything else. I'll leave all of that down in the description of the video. Check that below. If you have any questions on things that I probably didn't cover well enough or things you come across, just let me know in the comments. Thanks for subscribing. Share the video. We'll see you next time.